Hi guys, in today's session we will talk about licensing and office activation in details along with some best practices to be followed on office activation and troubleshooting. We will get started some small theory part so that you will also be able to understand the troubleshooting that we are going to follow. All right, so let's get started. Earlier, with the older version of Office apps or with the legacy version of Office apps, we used to activate the Office apps using the product key. However, with the latest version of the Office apps, that is the click to run version of Office, we can use the username and password to activate the Office apps. So now, with one license for Office for Business, you will be able to activate the Office apps on 5 PCs or Macs, 5 tablets, and 5 phones. So here 5 PCs or Macs refers like it can be a combination of 2 Macs and 3 PCs, or 1 Mac and 4 PCs, so that the total count will be 5. So if you have already purchased and installed the Office 365 business suite on your computer, it will prompt you to activate or sign in into the Office apps. So you just have to enter or sign in your username and password to activate the Office apps. So now the subscription that you have purchased, uh, that does have some sign in limit, so that determines on how many machines you can install and activate the Office at the same time. So to understand the activation limit for the Office subscription, we will compare features for some of the Office 365 plans. All right, so now the first over here is Office 365 Business Basic subscription. All right, so this subscription does not have the Office desktop apps included in it. It does have like Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams, and Office web apps. So you will be able to use the Office web apps such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint using the browser. Okay, so this business basic subscription will be used by the users who are having their subscription for Office, or maybe volume license copy of Office, and they are using this business basic subscription for emails with Office 365. And now with apps for business subscription, you will get the Office desktop apps, and so you won't get the Exchange, the email services, SharePoint, and Teams in this particular subscription. So apps for business subscription, or apps for business plan, is used by the users who are using their own email services. So you can use this subscription for Office apps such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and you can configure the emails. It may be your personal email, or it may be an email from your from your different email provider that can be configured in Outlook. And now comes the business standard subscription, which is a combination of the first two subscriptions, that it will provide you with the Office desktop apps along with the Office online apps, and it have everything like Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams included in it. All right, so now we will consider some of the examples and troubleshooting scenarios. So now let's say if you have been assigned a support ticket and your user complains that he is not able to activate the Office apps on his machine even after assigning the license. So now the end user is not aware what the correct license should be used. He have just purchased the Office license and he wants to activate the Office apps. So now in this case, I will highly recommend you guys to do some basic checks before going ahead and jumping on a call, so that will save your time and your customers time. Okay, so first, you go on a call and check the license for this particular user. You find that this user is having business basic subscription. So now you know the differences between the plans for the Office subscription. So you find that this user is having business basic plan, so that does not have the Office desktop apps included in it. So in that case, you will have to upgrade the license to install and activate the Office apps. That should resolve the issue. Now, in a second example, user does have an appropriate license, but when you check the user's machine, you find that he's having a different copy of Office installed on his machine. So, in that case, you will have to remove the previous version of Office or the home suite from his computer. So you can go to Control Panel. All right, so here in the control panel, you will be able to see that there are like multiple copies of Office. Nowadays, users like they are having uh, a copy of Office which might be home subscription, and when they purchase the business subscription, they install it from the Office portal on the top of the home suite that they already have on their machine. So this creates the conflicts, and so you just have to remove the previous version of Office and sign in into the Office apps. That should fix the issue. Okay, so now now till now we have considered two examples wherein in the first example, user was not having the appropriate license. That issue was fixed by upgrading the license. Okay, so now in the second example, we found that correct license is assigned, however a different copy of Office is installed, which was fixed by removing the older version of Office and installing the business suite and activating it. Now let's consider one more example wherein the correct license is assigned and the correct software is also installed. However, you are still getting an error to activate the Office apps. So now in that case, we have few more steps that can be performed to activate the Office. So in that case, you can reset the activation state for the Office apps. So we will first understand why do we get this error. So in the previous example, we found that we have removed the older copy of Office or the previous version of Office. And so what happens if even if you remove it from the machine, the product ID for that uh, copy of Office still is still on the machine, and that also creates a conflict. So you can remove that product key using the VBS script that is already present on your machine. You just have to use a few commands to remove the product ID, and that should activate the Office apps. All right. So now you will have to open the command prompt as an admin, and you will have to find the location of the Office 16 folder. So let me show you where this file is located. Okay. So you will have to go to C drive, program files, Microsoft Office, and Office 16 folder. Okay. So here you will be able to find the ospp.vbs file, which is the VBS script file. All right. And so so depending upon the version of Office that you have installed, this VBS script will be present at that location. So let's say, for example, if we have installed the 64-bit version of Office, so in that case, this VBS script file will be present in Microsoft, I mean in program files folder. And in case if you have the 32-bit version of Office installed, this Office 16 folder will be located at program files x86 folder. Okay, over here, program files x86 folder. So you'll have to go to that location. So let's copy this location of the file. All right, and you will also see that depending upon the location of that of the version of Office, you can navigate to that particular folder. So now we have copied that location, and now let's open the command prompt in admin mode. Okay. All right, and now we will check the product ID. For that, we do have a command. Okay, so this is the command to check the product ID that is installed on your computer. Okay, so this command has been executed. So on my machine, as we can see, that product ID is not detected. However, if there are like multiple product IDs or any one product ID, it will look like this. It will show you the name of the Office suite that is installed, along with the last five digits of the product ID that is associated with that product. So in your case, in our example, we found that there was a previous copy of Office. So if you execute this command, you will be able to see that there were two different versions of Office Home Suite and Office Pro Plus that we have over here. And along with that, you will also be able to see there are like two different product IDs for these two products. So once you are able to find that there are multiple product IDs which is creating the conflict, then you can remove the product ID using the next command. Okay, it is cscript ospp.vbs and then unpicky. And in front of that, you just have to enter the last five digits of the installed product key. Okay, so let me show you how you can execute that command. And the last five digits of the product key over here, as you can see, that it is WFG99. Okay, all right, so this way you can modify the command and hit enter. So in this case, we were not having any product ID installed, so it was not removed. But you can see in this screenshot how will this command get executed. So you will see this message uninstalling the product key, and it was successfully removed. And once that is successfully removed, you just have to launch the Office apps in administrator mode and try to sign in. This should definitely activate the Office apps. In case if you are still having the Office activation issue, there are like couple of few more steps which you can follow to activate the Office apps. In fact, there are like more steps which you can use. However, these are some of the basic steps that I am going to discuss over here. So you can follow that steps and check if that resolves the issue. All right, so the next step that you can follow is to remove the stored Office credentials from the control from the credential manager. So this credential manager is present in the control panel. Once you go to the control panel, at the top right, you can search for credentials. You can type over there credential manager. You will be able to find this app, and over there you have to go to Windows credentials. You will be able to see the Microsoft Office 16 or Office 15 credentials. So if you find that, you can like move it directly. And once the credentials the Office 16 credentials are removed, then try to sign in. So like Office 16 credentials are for the Office apps. Like you can go ahead and remove it directly, and check if that resolves the issue. And if you are still facing the issue, then you can still follow one more step, that is clearing the credentials for work and school account. So this option is present under settings, and you can see over here the option to access work and school account. So let's understand why we face this issue, and then we will be able to fix this issue. So let's say, for example, if your machine is being assigned to a user, and when he sign into the Office apps, his account gets added over here as well on the machine for the work and school account. Okay, now that employee is going to leave the company, and that machine gets assigned to you. Now you try to sign in into the Office apps with your work and school account, and this creates the conflict because uh, already account is already added on the machine. So you will have to remove the work and school account for the first employee or the previous employee, and try to sign in again into the Office apps. So like you have to click on this work and school account and click on disconnect. That will remove this work and school account, and when you try to sign in into the Office apps, this account will get automatically. You don't have to add it manually. All right, so these are the some basic steps that we can perform. However, there are like few more steps that you can perform, however, which has not been discussed on this particular session. But yes, definitely you can go for few more steps in case if the issue still persists. So that's it from my end, guys. I guess I have discussed couple of examples over here in this session. I hope you it will be useful for you to troubleshoot on the office activation issues. And in case if you have any concerns or if you have any queries, please feel free to mention it in your comments, and I will be glad to assist you. Okay. All right. I hope that you have enjoyed today's session, and bye for now.